The battlefield was silent before the storm. Black smoke floated above the ruined cities, and broken towers stood like bones of a dead giant. Across the warfront, alien machines waited. They were massive, tall like buildings, with glowing red eyes and armor that nothing had pierced so far. The galaxy called them unbreakables. No world had survived against them. The alien commanders stood high above in their hovering ships, laughing. They had studied humans for years, their machines. "Are weak," one alien officer said, his voice echoing through metal halls. "Earth's tanks are slow, their aircraft are old, their robots are nothing compared to ours. They dare to bring machines to fight us. Pathetic." Another alien joined the laughter. "Humans always believe too much in their crude inventions. We will show them what true machines can do. They will fall like all others." But far below, hidden in the ruined forests and broken highways, Earth's machines waited. They were not tall like the alien war droids. They were smaller, built from steel and sweat, painted in black and green. Some had wheels, some had legs, some crawled on tracks like beasts. They looked simple compared to the shining alien giants, but inside them beat a different kind of strength. The human soldiers moved quietly around them, preparing in silence. They did not laugh. Their faces were hard, their eyes tired, but behind that tiredness was something dangerous. Something the aliens had never seen before. The first clash came when the alien machines advanced. Their steps crushed the ground, shaking the earth like an earthquake. Their cannons glowed, ready to burn everything in their path. The alien commanders watched with pride. "Let us see how long their toys last." One alien whispered. The human commander, General Reeves, stood on the ridge, watching the red lights move closer. His voice was calm but sharp when he gave the order, "Release the machines." From the shadows of the forest, the human machines moved out. Old tanks rumbled forward, their engines roaring like beasts waking from deep sleep. Drones buzzed in, the air flying fast and low. Metal walkers with long legs climbed over the broken rocks. Some of the machines were new, built in secret. Carrying weapons no alien had seen before, the aliens saw them and laughed even louder. "This is their great defense?" They mocked. "Scrap metal on wheels, insects in the sky?" Then the battle began. The alien droids fired first. Beams of white energy slashed across the ground, melting trees and stone. A line of human tanks exploded, fire reaching for the sky. Alien laughter filled the command ships. "See? They break like paper." But the humans did not stop. From the ruins, hidden cannons rose and fired heavy shells. The sound shook the air. Explosions ripped against the alien droid's armor. Dust and fire covered the field. One of the great machines stumbled, its red eye flickering. For the first time, the aliens fell silent. "Impossible," one of them whispered. General Reeves spoke into his radio with steel in his voice. "Push them back. Show them what Earth machines are made of." The tanks kept rolling, even when their armor burned. Some had holes in their sides, but still their cannons fired. The drones swarmed like angry wasps, striking weak points the aliens never protected. Small human robots crawled under the alien machines and exploded, taking giants down with them. The aliens could not understand it. By numbers, by size, by technology, humans should have already lost, yet the battlefield told a different story. The human machines fought with something alien droids did not have: persistence. They kept moving even when damaged. They adapted. They struck where no one expected. In the alien command ship, silence replaced laughter. The commander's jaw tightened. These machines, they fight like their creators. Broken, yet never stopping. Outside, the sky burned with fire. The earth cracked under explosions, and smoke hid the stars. But through that smoke, the human war machines moved like shadows of defiance, unbroken and unafraid. The first day of battle was not victory for humans, not yet. They lost many, and the ground was red with sacrifice. But the aliens had learned something dangerous. Human machines were not weak. They were stubborn. They were built to fight to the last breath, just like the humans who made them. And for the first time, fear touched the alien commanders. The smoke of the first battle had not cleared when the alien warships circled above. Their silver holes gleamed in the sunlight, and their weapons pointed down like the eyes of predators. The ground below was still shaking from the last clash. Fires burned in every direction, black towers of smoke reaching the sky. The alien commanders gathered around a giant screen in their flagship. They studied the battlefield carefully. Red lights showed where their droids still stood. Green lights showed human machines still active. And that map gave them a bitter truth: they had lost more droids than expected. This should not have happened, one alien officer growled. Our machines are perfect. Their armor is the strongest in the galaxy, yet they fall to crude human weapons. Another slammed his metal fist on the table. It is not the weapons. It is the way that humans fight. They do not surrender. They drive their machines forward even when defeat is certain. That stubbornness is not in our calculations. The alien commander-in-chief, tall and covered in black armor, remained silent for a long time. His cold eyes studied the field. Humans build weakness into their machines, he said finally. No advanced shielding. No high-energy cores. They fight with steel, with gunpowder, with machines that break easily. And yet he paused. They win small victories. He turned his gaze to the officers. Do not laugh at them again. These creatures are not to be mocked. Far below in the human command bunker, General Reeves and his officers sat around their own map table. Their faces were pale, tired, but their eyes carried fire. We held them, one officer whispered. We actually held them. Reeves nodded slowly, but at a cost. Hundreds of machines destroyed, thousands of soldiers gone. And the aliens will not stop. They'll come back with greater force. The radio crackled. Voices of frontline units. Cutting in, we need more drones. Tanks holding the West Ridge are out of shells. Enemy droids regrouping, bigger ones this time. Reeves leaned forward, his voice calm but unbreakable. Tell the men this. We are not done. Earth has more machines. And as long as one still moves, we do not give up. The soldiers around him straightened their backs. His words were iron. On the next day, the aliens unleashed their true power. Giant machines, taller than skyscrapers, walked out from their dropships. Their weapons glowed with plasma. Their steps shattered the ruins of cities. They were the Titan droids, feared across galaxies. No species had survived when they appeared. The alien commanders were sure this would end the human resistance. One said, their machines will be nothing but dust. The ground shook as Titan droids advanced. Each step crushed tanks like insects. Their cannons burned whole streets. Human soldiers ran for cover as the giants tore through defenses. But General Reeves did not panic. He gave a single order: activate Project Iron Wolf. From hidden bunkers and underground hangars, strange shapes rolled out. These were not ordinary machines. They were hybrids, built from stolen alien tech mixed with human engineering. Their bodies were rough and patched, but they carried weapons never seen before. Some had rotating cannons, others carried railguns powered by captured alien cores. And at their heart, they carried one secret: the spirit of human adaptation. When the Iron Wolves appeared on the battlefield, even the Titan droids slowed. Their red eyes scanned these strange new machines. The first clash was brutal. One Iron Wolf fired a railgun shot that tore straight through a Titan's leg. The giant stumbled, crashing into a broken skyscraper. Another wolf leapt onto a Titan's back, attaching magnetic charges before exploding into fire. Both machines vanished in the blast, but the Titan was gone too. The aliens shouted in shock. They combine our own technology? Impossible? General Reeves whispered to himself as he watched. Not impossible. Human. The battle turned into chaos. The aliens had the size, the numbers, the power. But humans had something else they learned. Every time an alien weapon destroyed one of their machines, the next human machine came back stronger, adapted, improved. On the third day, Even the Titan droids could not claim full victory. For every human machine they crushed, two more appeared from the shadows. For every fire they caused, another Iron Wolf burned one of them down. The alien commander-in-chief finally spoke, his voice cold. These humans, their machines are not like ours. What? They carry their will inside them. When humans refuse to fall, their machines do the same. The battlefield was littered with broken metal, burning steel, shattered earth. Yet through the smoke the humans still stood. Their machines were scarred, dented, burning in places, but their cannons still turned toward the enemy. For the first time, the aliens understood something dangerous. Earth did not need perfect machines. They only needed machines that fought, with the same stubborn heart as their creators, and that truth was enough to shake even the greatest empire in the galaxy. The battlefield did not sleep. For 3 days and 3 nights, the sky burned red, the ground shook with endless explosions, and the air was filled with the roar of machines. The aliens had expected a swift victory, but the war dragged on. Every time they crushed human defenses, more machines came from the ruins. More soldiers fought from the shadows. Human persistence was like a wound that refused to close. Inside the alien flagship, the commanders argued. We throw Titan droids at them, and still they stand. One hissed. They steal our technology and twist it into their crude machines. Another growled. They should have fallen by now. Every other species fell within hours. The commander-in-chief raised a clawed hand, silencing the room. His voice was calm, but there was anger beneath it. You do not understand. Humans are not like others. They build weakness into strength. They turn scrap into weapons. They fight even when defeat is written. He turned his gaze to the burning planet below. We underestimated them. That mistake will not happen again. On the ground, General Reeves stood among his soldiers in the ruined command post. The air was thick with dust, and the sound of distant machines echoed like thunder. Reeves' uniform was torn, his face marked with dirt and blood, but his eyes were sharp. He looked at the map spread before him. Aliens were pressing from 3 sides, trying to cut off the last human forces. If that happened, Earth would fall. One officer spoke quietly. General, if we keep fighting them head-on, we will lose everything. Reeves nodded, then we stop fighting head-on. The room fell silent. The soldiers watched him, waiting. Reeves leaned over the map and traced his finger across the enemy lines. They believe machines win wars with size and power. They are wrong. Wars are won with strategy. We will show them. That night, the humans moved their machines in silence. Old tanks rolled out of hiding, not toward the enemy, but away into the ruined cities. Drones spread across the sky, not to attack, but to watch. The Iron Wolves vanished underground, moving. Through old subway tunnels and forgotten passages. By dawn, the aliens found the battlefield empty. Where have they gone? An alien officer demanded. The commander-in-chief narrowed his eyes. They are planning something. The Titans advanced into the cities, their giant steps crushing streets, their cannons blasting through towers. But as they entered deeper, the trap closed. Human drones, hidden in the tallest ruins, dived from above, striking the Titans' heads and sensors. Tanks hidden in basements opened fire from below, hitting weak points in their legs. Iron Wolves burst out of subway tunnels. Ambushing from beneath the ground, the city became a death maze for the alien machines. Their size worked against them, could not move freely, could not turn easily. In every street corner hid another human weapon. Ambush. The aliens shouted through their cums. They planned this. In the human command post, Reeves listened to the chaos through intercepted signals. His lips curled in a hard smile. Let them laugh at our machines now. The battle raged through the ruins. Titan fell when an Iron Wolf leapt onto its chest and fired its railgun point-blank. Another Titan stumbled when a collapsing skyscraper, rigged with explosives, buried it under tons of steel and fire. The aliens tried to adapt, but the humans were faster. For every move the aliens made, the humans already had an answer. Ours. Later, the alien commander-in-chief stood before the tactical screen, watching in disbelief. Their Titan numbers were falling. Not two stronger weapons, but two clever traps. These humans, he whispered. They fight like predators, not prey. The battle lasted until night, and when silence finally returned, the city was gone. Nothing stood but broken ruins, shattered machines, and fire. But among that fire, the humans still stood. Their machines were cracked, their fuel nearly gone, but they were alive. And more importantly, they had proven something. They could outthink the aliens. General Reeves gathered his surviving officers. They want to crush us with power, but we will not give them that fight. From now on, we fight with the one thing they cannot match: our minds. Every city, every ruin, every street becomes our battlefield. We will not just resist, we'll hunt them. The soldiers nodded. Their faces were tired, but their spirits burned brighter than ever. High above, the alien commander-in-chief stared down at Earth, his armored claws tightened. If humans fight with machines like wolves, then we will burn their world to ashes. They will not survive. But deep inside, for the first time in his long career of conquest, he felt something new, something cold, fear. The ruins of the city still burned when the next wave came. The night sky lit up as alien warships descended, blotting out the stars. With their sheer size, their weapons glowed blue, humming with terrible power. The alien commanders had seen enough of human tricks. They no longer laughed. They no longer mocked. They were angry. In the flagship, the commander-in-chief gave his order. His voice was like steel cutting through the silence. Erase the humans. Burn their machines. Leave nothing standing. The fleet obeyed from the heavens. Streams of plasma rained down. Whole neighborhoods vanished in fire. Forests turned to ash. The ground melted into rivers of molten rock. Wherever humans might hide, the aliens tried to scorch them out. But even as the world burned, the humans did not break. In underground bunkers and tunnels, General Reeves and his soldiers watched the destruction above. The walls shook with every blast, dust falling from the ceiling, but Reeves's voice was steady. They are showing us their fear. They believe fire will kill us. But fire only hardens iron. Beside him, engineers worked with speed and desperation. Broken machines were dragged into workshops. Scrap metal was turned into armor. Alien wreckage was pulled apart and reforged into weapons. Every destroyed machine gave birth to a new one. Humans had no factories left, no supply lines, only ruins. But from those ruins came something the aliens never expected: evolution. One iron wolf crawled out of the workshop, its armor scarred, its right arm replaced with an alien plasma cannon. Another rolled forward, carrying extra armor made from Titan plating. A third had a human railgun and an alien shield fused together. They looked ugly, uneven, but they were deadly. The soldiers named them ghost wolves. Machines born of ruin. When the alien fleet finally sent their droids to finish the job, the ghost wolves were waiting. The battle began in the dead city streets once more. Alien droids marched in perfect formation, their glowing eyes scanning the ruins. They expected weak resistance. They expected humans to flee. Instead, shadows moved between the rubble. The first ghost wolf struck fast, blasting a droid apart with its stolen plasma arm. Another charged from a tunnel, smashing straight into an enemy's chest with sheer weight. Drones swarmed above, carrying bombs pieced together from alien scraps. The ruins turned into a trap again, every wall and tunnel alive with fire. The aliens fought back with fury. Their droids fired beams that melted stone. Their ships above rained destruction, but still the humans came. Their machines did not look perfect, did not move with elegance, but they fought with a rage that could not be matched. In the command ship, alien officers stared at the live feed in disbelief. They use our own weapons against us. They rebuild faster than we destroy. They should have no resources left. The commander-in-chief's eyes narrowed. They use the battlefield itself as their forge. Every war machine we send against them becomes fuel for the next. It is not their machines we fight, it is their will. Back on the ground, Reeves stood among the chaos, shouting orders through the radio. His voice cut through explosions. Do not meet them head-on. Strike and vanish. Bleed them. Wound them. Make them doubt. His soldiers obeyed. The ghost wolves struck like lightning, then disappeared back into the ruins. Tanks without tracks were converted into stationary turrets. Drones with almost no fuel turned into kamikaze missiles. Even broken machines were rigged with explosives, exploding when alien droids stepped too close. It was war without rules, war without mercy. Hours turned into days, and though the humans lost countless soldiers, the aliens did not claim victory. Every street they took cost them. Every step forward bled them. At last, the alien commander slammed his claw against the table. Enough of this. If machines cannot break them, if fire cannot burn them, then we will crush their spirit directly. He gave the most brutal order. Yet, target the shelters, target the civilians. Force them to despair. When General Reeves heard the news, his jaw clenched. The aliens would strike at the unarmed, the weak, the ones hiding below. The soldiers looked at him, fear in their eyes. For a long moment, Reeves said nothing. Then he turned, his voice sharp. And filled with iron, then we fight for them. Every child, every family, every voice left on this planet. The aliens want to see despair. We will show them defiance. That night, the ghost wolves marched again. Not for land, not for victory, but to protect the heart of humanity and in the shadows of the burning world. The aliens began to realize something terrifying. They had not simply started a war with humans. They had awakened a species that refused to die. The aliens thought the war would end when they targeted the civilians. They believed humans would surrender to save their families. But they did not understand. On Earth, civilians were not only victims, they became part of the resistance. When the first alien strikes hit the shelters, men and women who had never held a weapon before picked up rifles. Engineers turned workshops into machine forges. Farmers gave fuel, workers carried ammo, children carried water to the soldiers in tunnels. Humanity itself became a machine. Every person another gear in the war effort. General Reeves saw this transformation with his own eyes. He stood in the underground command post, looking at civilians building drones from scraps, repairing tanks. With bare hands, they are with us, he said softly. Then his voice rose. This is no longer only a war of soldiers. This is Earth's war, and Earth does not surrender. Aliens above could not understand why the resistance grew stronger, not weaker. From the flagship, the commander-in-chief stared at the new reports. His voice was heavy with disbelief. They lose their homes, they lose their cities, and yet their numbers rise. How is this possible? An officer answered, his voice shaking. Because every strike against them only forges more fighters. We try to break their spirit, but their spirit infects even the weakest. The commander's cold eyes narrowed. Then we will break their machines instead. Without machines, they are nothing but flesh and bone. He ordered a new weapon, Stormbreakers. These were not ordinary droids. They were designed for one purpose: disable machines. They released electromagnetic waves that fried circuits, shut down engines, and killed drones in the air. When the Stormbreakers marched onto the battlefield, human machines began to fall silent one by one. Tanks froze in place, drones crashed from the sky. Even iron wolves collapsed mid-dash stride. Panic spread across the human lines. Soldiers shouted in horror as their machines went dark. They're shutting us down, nothing works. For a moment, the battlefield seemed lost, but Reeves did not panic. He stood firm, his eyes hard as stone. If machines fail, then humans fight with their own hands. We are not helpless. We are not done. The soldiers gritted their teeth, grabbed rifles, explosives, even sharp steel, and charged. They fought among the ruins without machines, like warriors from old times, hiding in alleys, striking with ambushes, refusing to surrender. But Reeves had more than courage. He had a secret. He called it Project Stoneheart. While the ghost wolves fought in the cities, scientists deep underground had worked on something strange. Machines not controlled by electronics, but by mechanical cores, shielded from electromagnetic waves. They were ugly, heavy, loud, but they could not be disabled by stormbreakers. When the aliens thought the humans were broken, the ground shook. Again, from old mines and bunkers, massive machines rolled out stone-hard engines. Their gears turned with grinding force, their weapons fired shells instead of plasma. They looked like beasts of iron from another age, and they kept moving even. As the stormbreakers released their deadly waves, the aliens froze. Their weapons of silence meant nothing against these monsters of steel. The first stone-hard engine fired. A thunderous blast that blew an enemy droid in half. Another crushed through the alien line, gears screaming, cannons roaring. The battlefield shook with their advance. For the first time, the aliens saw human machines that ignored their greatest weapon. They built machines immune to us? An alien officer stammered. The commander-in-chief's voice was low and dangerous. They build to survive, always. The humans rallied behind the stone hearts. Soldiers climbed on top of them, firing rifles. From their armor, civilians threw supplies to keep them moving. The battlefield turned into a storm of fire and iron. The aliens who thought victory was near suddenly found themselves pushed back. In the middle of it, General Reeves stood. On a Stoneheart's hull, shouting to his troops through a loudspeaker. His words were like thunder. They thought they could break our machines. But our true machines are not made of circuits. They are made of will. As long as Earth stands, our machines will rise. The humans roared with him, their voices echoing across the battlefield. The aliens had come to Earth believing machines would decide the war. They were right, but not in the way they imagined, because Earth's machines were not only steel and gears. Earth's machines were its people, and people were something the aliens could never defeat. The smoke of the last battle still hung over the ruins when the humans made their next move. For weeks they had fought on defense, striking from shadows, surviving against impossible odds. But now General Reeves knew the time had come to change everything. No more waiting. He told his officers inside the underground war room. His voice was rough, but his eyes burned with fire. The aliens believe Earth is only a shield, always protecting, always enduring. But now, we show them Earth can strike. The officers exchanged uneasy looks. The alien fleet still circled. Above, thousands of warships armed with weapons strong enough to shatter mountains. No one had ever dared attack them directly. One soldier finally spoke. "General, how can we reach their ships?"
Oh.
"Our weapons barely scratch their droids. Their fleet is untouchable." Reeves leaned over the table, pointing to the map.
Oh.
"Is untouchable. Not if we think like humans. We take the fight to the skies." The plan was dangerous, almost madness. But madness was all humanity had left. In secret bunkers, engineers worked day and night. Broken drones were reforged into flying. Bombs. Old fighter jets, once useless against alien shields, were rebuilt with scavenged alien tech. Even Stoneheart engines were modified, their massive cannons angled upward. To fire at the heavens, the soldiers called the plan Operation Skyhammer. The day of the assault, the skies filled with fire. Dozens of human jets patched with alien engines roared upward. Drones swarmed like hornets carrying explosives strapped to their sides. From the ground, Stonehearts thundered, firing massive shells into orbit. The aliens were not prepared. For months they had fought humans only on the ground. They had believed Earth could never touch the sky. Now the sky burned. The first alien warship shuddered as a swarm of drones smashed into its engines. Fire erupted across its hull. Another ship spun wildly when a human jet, already burning, rammed straight into its shield core, exploding in blinding light. From the flagship, the alien commander-in-chief stared in fury. "They dare attack us here." His officers panicked. "Our ships are falling. Their machines reach even the fleet." Slammed his clawed fist onto the console. "Destroy them all. Burn the skies. Do not let a single human craft survive." The order was given. Alien cannons lit the heavens, beams of plasma tearing through the clouds. Human jets exploded, drones disintegrated, stone hearts cracked apart from counterfire. The humans paid a heavy price. But even as they fell, they did not stop. One battered jet, its wings torn, dove straight into an alien cruiser, detonating its reactor in a ball of flame. A swarm of drones sacrificed themselves, exploding against the bridge of another warship, even as machines were destroyed. Humans inside them made sure their deaths had meaning. General Reeves watched from the ground as the sky turned into a graveyard of fire and smoke. His radio was filled with last words of pilots. "Tell them, we reached the stars, for Earth. Make it count." Tears burned his eyes, but his voice stayed hard. They did not fall in vain. Keep pushing, keep firing, break their fleet. And slowly, impossibly, the alien fleet began to crack. One warship after another was crippled, smoking as they fell toward Earth's surface. Alien crews screamed through the cums as explosions consumed their vessels. For the first time in their long history of conquest, their fleet bled. Inside the flagship, silence spread like a shadow. Officers looked at each other, fear clear in their alien eyes. The commander-in-chief whispered, almost to himself, "No species has ever done this. No species has ever touched our fleet." His claws tightened. Humans, they are not fighting for victory, they are fighting for existence. That makes them more dangerous than anything in this galaxy. Down on Earth, the survivors gathered after the battle. The cost had been heavy. Half of their jets were gone. Thousands of drones lost. Stonehearts shattered. But they had done the impossible. They had struck the sky. Reeves stood before his people, his voice carrying through the battered ranks. Today, they learned Earth can reach them. Today, we made them bleed. We may lose cities, we may lose machines, but we will never lose our will. And as long as we breathe, this planet fights. The soldiers roared with him, their voices rising like thunder. High above, the alien fleet limped, scarred and burning. The commander-in-chief stared down at Earth with a mixture of rage and dread. "They should not have been able to hurt us," he said. His voice was low, filled with something unfamiliar, certainty, and yet they have. He turned to his officers. "If we cannot crush them here, then the galaxy must see the truth. This war is no longer about one planet. It is about survival. Humanity must be erased before their fire spreads." And so, with cold fury, the alien empire prepared to summon reinforcements. It's not just a fleet-on armada. The next battle would not be for Earth alone. It would be for the future of the galaxy. The alien fleet limped above Earth, broken and burning, but not defeated. And then the sky itself changed. From the darkness of space, new lights appeared. Dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. The reinforcements had come. An entire alien armada emerged. Stretching across the horizon, their ships forming a wall of steel and fire. The glow of their engines drowned out the stars. It was the largest force humanity had ever seen, a storm of war prepared to erase Earth from existence. On the flagship, warned by with untarin reward renta and tarin out and upward in red a self ram side aware and now the humans will know despair. No planet can resist this. No species has survived the full might of our empire. But deep underground, in the human war room, General Reeves studied the same sky. His officers were pale, their faces filled. With fear, General One whispered, There are too many. Even with our stone hearts, even with the ghost wolves, we cannot face this. They will bury us under sheer numbers. Reeves was silent for a long time. His eyes were fixed on the map of Earth, where every red dot represented an alien ship. Finally, he spoke in a low, steady voice. Then we stop fighting like soldiers. The officers looked at him in confusion. What do you mean? Fight like survivors. We fight like humans. He leaned closer, his voice turning sharp. Every machine, every drone, every weapon we have left, we turn Earth itself into a trap. It's not just the cities, the mountains, the oceans, the skies. They want to bury us, then they will bury themselves too. It was madness. It was desperate. But no one argued, because they all knew Reeves was right. The order spread across the resistance. Civilians and soldiers worked side by side. Bridges were rigged with explosives. Dams were prepared to burst. Volcanoes wired with charges, old satellites in orbit, were turned into bombs. Earth itself was becoming a weapon. The soldiers called it Operation Last Dawn, when the alien armada descended. They expected a broken planet. Instead, they found a world alive with fire. The first ships were torn apart by explosions hidden in the mountains. Floods swallowed entire waves of alien droids when dams burst. Old satellites rained down like meteors, smashing into warships with blinding light. Even the oceans betrayed the invaders, as submarines surfaced to launch torpedoes into their landing craft. The armada roared back with fury. Plasma storms scorched the earth, whole forests turned to ash, cities vaporized in seconds. But every blast revealed more traps, more defiance. Humanity was bleeding the armada one cut at a time. Inside the flagship, alien officers shouted in disbelief. They have turned their planet into a battlefield. Every rock, every river, every machine fights for them. This is not war, it is madness. The commander-in-chief's cold eyes narrowed. No, this is survival. And it makes them dangerous beyond measure. On the ground, Reeves stood atop a Stoneheart engine, watching the skies. The earth shook with explosions, the air filled with fire, but his voice carried across the radio waves. They think Earth is dying, but listen. To me, Earth is alive. Every blast, every fire, every strike is the heartbeat of our world. And as long as that heartbeat continues, humanity fights. The soldiers roared back, their voices echoing even through static. And so the battle raged across the entire planet. From deserts to oceans, from the highest skies to the deepest tunnels, humans fought with machines, with traps, with bare hands if they had to. The alien armada pressed harder, their numbers overwhelming, but with each step forward they lost. More ships, more droids, more hope. By nightfall, the surface of Earth was a burning wasteland. But the humans were still there, scattered, bloodied, outnumbered but not defeated. The alien commander stared down at the planet with growing dread. He had expected fear. He had expected surrender. Instead, he saw something he could not understand. Defiance stronger than death itself. These creatures, he whispered. Even if we burn their world, even if we kill them all, their spirit will remain. That spirit will spread. For the first time, he wondered if his empire had made a mistake greater than any before. Because humanity was not simply resisting. Humanity was teaching the galaxy what it meant to fight. The sky was a blanket of fire. Ships burned, cities crumbled, and the sound of war shook the earth. But in that chaos, humanity had one final weapon left, its will to survive. General Reeves stood on the cracked earth, watching as the last remnants of the alien armada descended. Their ships, scarred and battered, still held terrible power, but their spirits were broken. They had thrown everything they had at Earth, and yet Earth still stood, its heart beating stronger with every passing hour. The ground shook beneath. Him and Reeves felt the weight of the final decision. This is it, he thought. One final push. The alien commander-in-chief watched the planet from the windows of his flagship. The once proud armada was now a shadow of its former strength. Nearly half the ships had fallen, their wreckage scattered across Earth's atmosphere. Their droids were scattered, falling to human ambushes, fires, and explosions. But they had one last advantage: numbers. And yet, the commander knew something crucial had changed. Something deep inside him, something ancient whispered that Earth was no longer just fighting for survival. It was fighting for something far more dangerous. "Prepare the final strike," the commander ordered. "We end this here, or we lose it all." The alien ships began their descent, aligning for a final, loud assault. Their weapons powered up, ready to unleash enough destruction to wipe out every last trace of human resistance. But as the alien armada gathered for the killing blow, something unexpected happened. The Earth itself seemed to react. Across the planet, hidden machines hummed to life machines that had been dormant, abandoned, and forgotten. Deep within Earth's crust, beneath oceans, within mountains, ancient human technology came alive. These weren't the machines the aliens had seen before. These were relics from Earth's distant past, seen, untested, and deadly in ways no alien had ever imagined. General Reeves turned to the control panel beside him, his fingers moving swiftly over the old machinery. "Activate the core. Activate the core." That command, a pulse of energy shot out from the Earth's surface, aimed directly at the heart of the alien fleet. The blast was silent at first, but then came a shockwave that rattled the very air itself. Every alien ship, every war machine, felt it a deep, rumbling tremor that shook their systems to their core. The alien commander's eyes widened. What? What is this? The alien fleet began to fall apart from within. Their systems short-circuited. Shields flickered, and weapons turned against their own ships. The pulse was not an ordinary weapon, it was a signal, a call to the Earth itself, a reaction that no invader could have predicted. "We've been feeding off Earth's energy for years," Reeves said, his voice cold. "Now Earth's energy is ours to control." The sky shattered with explosions as the pulse spread. Alien ships faltered, their shields collapsing as they were overwhelmed by the pulse of Earth's hidden machines. Some ships exploded outright, torn apart from the inside by the force of the Earth's wrath. Others simply drifted, helpless, their systems fried and useless. The alien fleet, once so sure of its superiority, was now a mass of wreckage, spiraling toward the planet like falling stars in the chaos. A single human voice echoed across the radio waves. "General Reeves, we've done it. The core is holding. The fleet is disabled." Reeves smiled. The battle was almost over. They had turned the Earth's energy, the very heart of their planet, into the weapon that finally ended the war. But the aliens had one final card to play. The commander-in-chief had retreated into his last stronghold. A ship so heavily armored it could withstand even the Earth's final pulse. His eyes were filled with cold determination. "If we cannot crush their will with weapons, we will crush them with the truth. Let them see that even if we fall, we will take them with us." The alien commander activated his final weapon, a massive, planet-shattering cannon built into the flagship's core. A beam of pure energy, capable of turning the Earth into dust, was charged. "This is how we end it," he said to himself. One shot, one final eternal strike. But as he prepared to fire, something unexpected happened. The Earth itself responded once again. The ground shook with violent force. The oceans began to churn, rising as if they were alive. The skies darkened, as if in response to the commander's final act. The alien commander's eyes went wide. No, they can't, but it was too late. The Earth's final defense had awakened, and it was stronger than anything the aliens could have prepared for. The ocean surged, the land split, and the planet's core pulsed with energy. A massive wave of power shot toward the alien flagship, and in that final moment, the Earth unleashed its fury. The alien ship was torn apart by the planet's wrath, its final weapon burning out as the Earth swallowed it whole. The alien commander's last thoughts were not of victory, but of the strange power that Earth held within itself, power that no other species had ever possessed. General Reeves watched from the ground as the alien fleet was reduced to nothing but floating debris. The war was over. Earth had won. The radio crackled one final time. "General, the alien fleet, they've all been destroyed." "It's over." Reeves closed his eyes, a long breath escaping his lungs. "Yes," he whispered, "it's over." As the Earth began to heal, the message was clear. Humanity had not only survived, had shown the galaxy what it meant to fight. And now, as the survivors stood among the ruins of their world, they knew that the fight was not over. Earth was not just a planet, was a beacon for every species that dared to conquer.